Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ATR's War of Bedlam Media's premier wrestling podcast, Wrestling the Toxicity of the Wrestling Community. I'm your host, Sam Nisselby. And alongside me today, as always, the man behind the Twitter Wrestling Voice of Reason, Scott, as well as the third man himself, the man of many numbers, my co-host from ATR Rising Sun, Ethan. Guys, it is probably, I would argue, one of my favorite AEW pay-per-views, Forbidden Door, this weekend. We got the Tony Khan special as of right now. We got 13, count them, 13 matches. I think Vince McMahon has moved over to the A from the E
to the
Guys,
W.
A lot on this card to talk about. A lot that I'm actually looking forward to. I don't know how you guys feeling overall.
Yeah, it looks like a good card. This actually, looking at like the wrestlers on this card, this might be the best one that they've put together. So we'll see. I mean, it sucks that it's on a Sunday, and being 13 matches, we know this is going to go past midnight Eastern. So poor Ethan will be past 1 o'clock for him.
I have Canada Day off, so I'm.
Oh, there you go. Nice. All right, I do not have that next day off, so I'm probably going to struggle. But yeah, I mean, I fully expect in the Tony Khan way that there will be more matches added. So any of those matches go right into the bin because we ain't playing that game no more.
Thank fucking God. I'm excited. I mean, there's honestly, I know we joke say there's banger after, but honestly, this card there's a lot of bangers after banger after banger. Say with me, boys, banger. Sorry.
So, before we begin, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Again, the Tony Khan special, we got 3 pre-show matches.
Tony Khan.
One of them, I would argue, shouldn't be a pre-show match.
I think I know the one, Sam.
Well, technically 2, but I will make an argument for one of them. And it might not be the one. But, you know, Ethan, because I know you look at me intently every time we do cover any of the Japanese talent. Because, you know, in your head, you're like, he's going to mess it up. He's going to mess it up. So I'm going to let you read off these matches.
Oh, crap. Can you read them out? Okay, I'll read them out. So what? Actually, I don't even have to. You read it first. You tell me.
All right. Well, okay. So that tells me you don't have them pulled up yet. The Statman is losing his grip.
Oh boy!
I have my record sheets here, guys. Look.
Opening match, we got Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe taking on.
You are so close.
And Tama Nakano.
Swing and a miss. You were close. So Momo Watanabe, you were right. I'll give you a pass on the Watanabe. I'll give you a pass on that one. Tam Nakano, again, you were close, but close enough. Oh yeah, records. So Statlander, Momo, and Tam are all debuting, so no score. And Will Nightingale is 0-1. She lost to Tony last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ironically, for the women's title, and Tony Storm's defending in the show. So, irony.
You know, I'm going to look at this, and these are the pre-show matches, so I'm not really sure. I'm going to give Willow the W here. I don't know. I've been about Willow for a long time. Willow's my girl. One of the few wrestlers, and I don't know, Scott, maybe you might agree with me. One of the few wrestlers who I think like is just a great face. Kind of like, you know, Hulk Hogan in the late 80s, early 90s. The guy didn't have to like do anything. He was just a great face. He didn't need to turn.
Right.
Until, you know, WCW. But this being said, Willow's great. She don't need to turn. I think, you know, she could use the W here. I don't know how long the Statlander feud's going to last. So I'm going to give Willow the dubs. Especially, didn't she is in it. Did she win her match yet? Yes.
Well, yeah, she beat Serena on Rampage. So Willow and Chris are face on the semifinals on Wednesday at Beach Break.
All right.
And by the way, since we're talking the Hard Cup for the women's side, Will Nightingale, it's the only one who's been in all 3. Here's my stats. Statlander, her second, because she replaced Sheeta in the quarterfinals in the first one.
Yep.
So Willow can be a 2-time winner if she wants to be.
True. Oh,
And I love Stardom. I love the Stardom town, by the way, in this year, instead of the regular AEW New Japan stuff.
I'm glad that they brought Stardom Girls in. It's nice to get that extra layer of another company using their talent for these shows. I'm honestly conflicted about this match because you talked about the Owen Hart tournament and they face one another, and I'm kind of like, if one wins here, the other's going to win for the 1v1. So I'm gonna reluctantly say Willow will win here because I feel like Chris Statlander is gonna screw her over in the Owen Hart tournament. So I'll say Willow and Tam get the win here.
Me too. And excuse me. Yeah, I think Chris. I don't think Willow gets back to back. I think Chris, like Scott said, will get the win. But when we talk about the Mariah Mary Saraya match, I got a theory, which you two already know, but I'll talk about when we get to that quarterfinal match.
All right.
And first clean sweep.
And I know this goes against who I think was going to win the Owen Hart Cup. However, that don't mean anything because Forbidden Doors for points, boys. So I will be contradictory in my statements.
Fair enough.
So, all right. Up next, we got Mariah May taking on Saraya in a first-round match for the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. So, I'm going to argue...
Wait. I got records. Hold on.
Read your records. Yeah.
So, both ladies are debuting at the show, and their first time in the Owen Hart Cup. So, someone's going 0-1. Okay, now you can continue, Sam.
All right. So, out of all of these matches, and there's nothing wrong with match 3. Match 3, I'd have no problem seeing on the main card. But seeing as how Tony and Mariah, and now they've been having this feud with Saraya, I feel like this is a match that should be on the main card. So, that being said, I don't know. I actually have Dynamite fresh in my head. I did not watch it Wednesday. I had things going on. So I watched it today. And it's fresh in my head. And I have a feeling we're getting close to the end here between this whole, Tony and Mariah. So I'm going to say Saraya is going to give the dubs.
Really? Okay.
Especially after the whole thing with the, champagne bottle?
Yes. Your turn, Scott.
We have shenanigans like that again. Mariah's going to get a little furious.
I have not watched Dynamite yet. So now that's extra information. God, that's tough. I don't know. I like Saraya, but I'm still gonna go with Mariah. The shenanigans part is interesting. I do like that, and I know Mina's gonna be out there during this match, so we might get some issues between Tony and Mina, obviously, because they're gonna be facing one another later in the night. So I do like the fact that they're probably gonna maximize on having both those ladies out there as well. Will it cause a distraction for Mariah? Maybe. But, God, it's also tough because, God, I hate this. Why am I having such difficulty in these first 2 pre-show matches? My God. Of course, with Saraya, wanted to go to...
That's how you know you got a good pre-show card when Scott can't make up his mind.
I hate this. I hate this. God. You know what? Fuck it. I'm changing my mind. Saraya.
Oh my God, Scott, are you cashing your change of pick?
No. I didn't fully knock it down. I talked myself out of it.
This hasn't been posted yet.
That's right.
I'm recording, so
I'm allowed to change. We're still in the segment of the match. I'm allowed to change.
I know. I'm kidding.
God, I hate to see Mariah lose though, but I think Saraya having an extra shot of being able to go back to Wembley just sounds more more intriguing for the Owen Hart Cup. But the Mariah May loss, especially if it comes down to either Tony or Mina costing her the win, is going to have ramifications later on in the actual show. And I think that is more entertaining to watch overall for the show. So I think that's my reasoning why I think Saraya is going to win.
Fuck you two. I'm going Mariah May.
Fair enough.
All right. Oh yeah, I have my theory. So I think she's winning the whole Owen Hart Cup because the winner of that match will meet the winner of Deon Prazo and Karshi. That's on Collision. Well, I know who wins, but I'm not going to spoil who won that match. I kind of want to see it, but I know who wins, but I'm not going to spoil it just for people. Scott.
Thank you.
But I think Mariah May beats Ray here because Ray already has a winner with Mariah May on TV. So I think, wrestling 50-50.
50.
She beats the mystery person in the semifinals, goes to the finals. I'm going to say Chris Statler goes to the finals, but Will fucks her over there. So Mariah May goes to her home country of England and beats the women's champion. Ta-da.
All right. Not a hard art. I won't be mad.
No.
I wouldn't be mad in that regard.
I will point wise, but match result wise, no.
But yeah, this is when I feel like, tournament aside, I feel like there's a little more going on story. Like out of all, like the whole women's division, this has been the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
Tony and Mariah have been the focal point, and they should not be on the pre-show. They should be on the main card, despite this being a. Well, wait a minute. I get maybe that's why Tony is taking on Mina Shirakawa, anyways.
He said it right. Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, like, they're trying to maximize the time, but not all on the pay-per-view. Like, give the people who aren't going to actually buy the pay-per-view a little bit of Tony time on, the pre-show with Mariah and Mina. And it might be an extra incentive to be like, this shit happened, like some shenanigans happened. I might actually buy the pay-per-view now. So that's actually, I understand 100% where you're coming from, Sam, but from a business standpoint, actually, this might be a great idea to have it on 0 Hour, especially if there's some shit that happens during this match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, plus you probably want to do 2 quarterfinal matches on the same main show because we'll get the men's. We'll talk about the Battle of the Dragons later. Right. But they did that last year too. Remember, because Athena and Billy Starks was on the pre-show, and then they had Kojima and Punk on the which. I mean, whatever. Honestly, I agree with Sam that it should be on the main show, but I get why they did the pre-show, guys.
Yeah. And if there's going to be one on the pre-show, this is the one to do it because it has the most story wrapped into it outside of the Owen Hart Cup. So just keep trying to push people to buy the pay-per-view until they, hopefully, dear God, get a deal with Max because your boy's tired of shelling out $50 every goddamn month for this.
Everybody is.
So I'm going to point this out because I was watching something on Max last night. They've been making updates. And now when you go into Max, you will see them have their series, their movies, news and beta, and then BR Sports. So would not be surprised if whatever they're doing right now with Warner, like as a whole, not just AEW, but I think that might trickle down at some point.
All right.
But I don't know. I figured I'd give you that information. So
that's a good info to have.
So here's the one I bet you that Ethan thought would have been on the main card.
Say it.
Los Gobernadores de Japan, Yota Tsuji, Titan, and Hiromu Takahashi take on the Lucha Brothers of Penta, Helzera Miedo, Ray Phoenix, and Mystico.
Fuck yeah. This is going to be a banger, boys.
So
this should be on the main. Oh, by the way, before I forget. So everybody is debuting with the exception of Hiromu. He's 1-0.
Who did he take on again when he wrestled?
He was on the pre-show last, so it was him, Shingo, and Bushi against United Empire.
Yes, that's right. That is right. So this is what I will say. I understand this one, Ethan, and I'm gonna give you guys a little spoiler on my choices for G1 coming up next month. And I know Ethan and I are on the same page. Tsuji's winning that damn tournament. Tsuji's winning the G1. And there's an extremely high chance he's winning the title at the Tokyo Dome.
Wow.
He's on fire. He is and Scott, I don't know if how much you've paid attention on our end, but like Suji's one of the, like with them AEW acquiring all this talent, and then obviously you know who on SmackDown, they need those holes filled, and there is talent that's slowly moving their way up. But Ethan and I think since day one, we've been like, Suji's like, he's the guy.
Okay.
He's the guy. So it makes sense he's on the pre-show. You don't want him in like a high-profile match where he's going to like, he might get injured.
Fair
I
enough.
don't know. Multi-man tag's a good way to go. And he's taken on two of the best luchadors in the industry.
Yeah.
So I would argue to look strong going into G1, LIJ is getting the W here. Despite us having these rumors about Penta's contract coming up in a couple months.
That's right.
Do you know why Lucha Bros can be on Forbidden Door for the longest fucking time?
Why?
Because CML and AAA had a few that looked like on it, and Pentagon Ray, Lucha Bros worked for AAA, or they did, and then obviously they don't get along. So, and it's funny, they're teaming up with Mystico, who is the CML World Historical Middleweight Champion.
Now, is Mystico? He's not the original, like the original Sin Cara. He's like
he's the original.
It is the original one.
The original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know. The original one left a bad taste in my mouth when he literally quit on a match because he dove to the outside, broke his finger, and was like, "I can't wrestle anymore." I'm like, "You fucking kidding me?"
I got an ouchie.
LeBron.
I was like blown away by that bullshit. And I think he got released, and then they put in
Hunigo.
Thank you, who did a phenomenal job as the new Sin Cara, even though they never talked about it. They just kind of like did that.
They did the mask match in Mexico, and then they're like, "All right, bye."
Fair enough. I do, however, like when we had the Sin Cara versus like the Sin Cara Negro. I thought that was really cool. I loved like how they warped his theme for the black version of it. It was really cool. But I'm getting off base now. Going into this, I was like, you know me, I don't have a lot of time to watch anything outside of AEW, WWE, and now TNA because I found a cheat. So I'll agree with Sam here. If you guys are all in on this guy from LIJ, I'm like, all right, cool. Sounds good to me. I'll take the free point here.
So so we all win because it's 6 of the great wrestlers. Mystico's been killing an MLW. Ironically, Sam, he's actually gonna be in Florida in July.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be at the what's it called?
Blood and Thunder in MLW. Mm-hmm. I guess Atlas Jr. I'm pretty in an Opera Cup. Scott, your favorite tournaments? Nice. We all win. I mean, this is gonna be a banger.
And it's free.
And it's free. I love it. Why is this on the pre-show? Honestly, hot take, Diller and Tree should be on the pre-show. Thanks, guys.
I mean, yeah.
Spoiler. But I'm gonna go with you two as well. I actually forgot about the Pentagon contract till Sam actually brought that back up. So, and plus Ray Fish just lost. Scott, sorry, spoiler. To Jay White in the Owen Hart Cup tournament. So, which is shitty. Not shitty, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's just like. But I'm gonna. I mean, we all win. I mean, it's gonna be great. Give us 10, 15 minutes. This might be an early Ethan pick, and the show didn't even started yet.
Right.
Right. Which is weird. It's also a pre-show match, and I know normally pre-show match very rarely get the Ethan pick. Not because they're bad, but they're not that high profile.
Yeah. A lot of 6s and 7s, not like we're not talking 8, 9s, and 10s here. But yeah, so if Ethan's calling it early, this is definitely a match to go watch.
Watch out for my ratings Sunday or Monday.
So before we get into the main card, because we've talked about what we think should be on the main card, I'm going to challenge everybody here. While we do this, while we go through this card, you get at least one match that you would put on the pre-show.
Okay.
We've talked about what we would prefer on the main card. but let's pick one match from the main card and go, this should be a pre-show match.
Got it. Let's do this.
This is my booking, and this is my thing. Well, we're complaining about this, but what would you move?
I already have mine.
I think we all might be on the same page. So, all right, kicking off the night. I have a feeling this is going to be the opener.
It should be. It should.
Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Phantasmo.
Spoiler for the ALP one, by the way.
Because that match hasn't technically happened yet.
That'll be on Rampage tonight. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, this will drop after that. So
that's true. Okay. This is dropping Saturday morning. So that man.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep thinking about when I record. I'm like, we are. Well, this is Saturday morning.
Okay.
So
for records, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry. Oh, sorry. Mark Briscoe's 0-0 debut on the show. Jack Perry, Konosuke Takeshita are 0-1 because Perry lost last year's Sonata. Dante Martin's also debuting. Leo Rush debuting. ALP is 1 apiece. 1 win, 1 loss.
He's been on the show 3 times.
Well, this will be his 3rd time. Wow.
So last year he was against Stu Graves on the pre-show. The very first one, it was him and the Young Bucks against Sting, Darby, and Shingo.
Wow. Man, this time flies. I didn't realize. I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be the only new guy on here.
There's a lot of newbies on this show.
That's good though. No, that's good though.
All right.
There's a few that's been on all 3, so but I'll list them off each time we go by.
This match though. Oof.
This is a tough one because I would love to see all of these guys win this. I will not be mad with any win here. I don't think ELP is winning.
Nope. It's one pick for this flyer match, right? So
correct. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think Briscoe's also disqualified because he's already a champion.
Yep. Dante and Leo will definitely have some scuffle.
I think they'll eliminate each other from this match, essentially.
Yeah.
And Dante, be careful. We don't need you to have a broken leg again.
Dear Christ, please don't.
So there's 2 ways we can go about this, and I'm really torn. Maybe this is a group discussion here. Konosuke Takeshita gets a title. And now Don Callis can be like, I worked with my man to get his belt. That's what the Callis family is all about. Or you go the other route where Jack Perry wins it. And now the Bucks have the tag titles and Perry has the TNT title.
And Okada's Continental.
Correct.
Oh, you sold me. It's Jack Perry.
Yeah, but even before you even spoke, I was like, it's going to be Jack Perry because they teased this weeks ago when they were just going to hand him the title after Copeland was hurt, which we talked about on the post show. I'm like, I swear to God, he probably broke something, and lo and behold, he did. He broke his tibia. So, yep, he's gone for God knows how long. But yeah, this is going to be Jack Perry's moment. I fully expect somebody from the Elite to come out and help Jack Perry get this win because he will not do it on his own. He can't. There's going to be some shenanigans. It just helps the whole scapegoat thing. So, but yeah, I agree with Sam. Jack Perry, he's going to be the new TNT champion after this.
So if Perry was in this match, it'd be Takeshita. But Sam, the reason I'm not going to go with Takeshita is because he's going to be in G1. And do you really want to lose your TNT champ for over a month?
Oh, that's another good point. I didn't even think about that.
But like Takeshita in G1, let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
But me and Sam will talk all about that in the schedule in a future episode. Oh shit, all 6 of these guys are great. I mean, I know my boy ELP, the fellow Canadian, but let's be honest. A lot of Canadians are failing, but I'm gonna go. I've been saying this for a while. They gotta put it on Jack Perry.
Yep, it's time.
It's time.
Yeah, the Elite. I will say this, and I know it's gonna piss off a lot of people.
Say it, Sam. Do it.
And I don't care. Kick rocks. The Elite's EVP storyline right now is hot fire.
Yep,
it is one of the hottest things AEW is doing, and it's probably one of the best gimmicks the Bucks have done.
Agreed, 100%.
You know, this is something when I was reading their book, they had talked about some of the stuff that they had picked up and became part of their characteristics was because it would really piss people off. Just some of the stuff they do. It's like, okay, well, if this is really pissing you off, we're just going to continue doing this.
Right.
So now, after...
It keeps people talking.
After Brawl Out, after everything that's happened, you know, however you feel about it, they've gone, okay, we're going to own this. We are the EVPs, and we're going to we're gonna run the show, and it's been great. So yeah, with Jack Perry having a belt and Okada
Everybody,
there,
everybody within the elite having a belt. It's an even more of a power trip, and I need to see more dynamic between them and Christopher Daniels. And I want Kenny Omega to come back, and also so that way it's a 2v2 thing for the EVP side. Even though Daniels nor Okada or Omega are really going to probably wrestle that much anymore, it's still to see them taking on the Jacksons. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I think we are seeing. I think the next couple of months, not so, and I think you guys follow where I'm coming from here. I think something like that, where Kenny and Daniels come back, or I don't know when Kenny's coming back, but Daniels, he'll be in and out. But I think the next couple months, Forbidden Door, it's very like pay-per-view focused.
Yep.
All in, same thing, very pay-per-view focused. Like, hey, we're getting ready for this. And then I feel like after that, it's like, yeah, you got Full Gear, the Revolution, where you can kind of be like, okay, we're really going to dive into the storylines rather than this is our main focus right now, these shows.
Yep.
Because not that the other shows are not the focus, but Survivor Series, Hell in a Cell were the same thing. It's like, okay, we're talking about these shows. We're building these matches around Hell in a Cell, around Survivor Series. Whereas you have Backlash, you have SummerSlam, Mania, where it's like, okay, we're building these storylines to take part in these shows. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
Yes. Yeah. I'm following what you're saying. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, all right. Since we got 4 out of the 13 matches down, we should probably move on to number 5. Here we go. Timeless Toni Storm taking on Mina Shirakawa. I almost messed that one up again. For the AEW Women's World Championship match.
Well, Toni Storm's 1-0, and Shirakawa's debuting. There.
And it says here, and I don't know if this is due to what had happened on Dynamite, but it says she will be at ringside in support of both participants.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mariah is like in love with both women for different reasons. So it's like, it makes sense that she's there for both of them. It's so funny to watch like this stuff unfold on television. Like, because obviously, again, I'm a relative newbie when it comes to anything Japan-wise wrestling. And just to see how much Mariah loves Mina, it's so funny. And like you see everything that she's done with Toni. And it's like, how is this woman going to choose between these two ladies?
Custody ladder match.
It's like Dominic Mysterio with Liv and Rhea once Rhea gets back. It's mayhem. It's bedlam, ladies and gentlemen. It's insane. Yeah. I'm gonna pick Toni to win, to retain. I don't know if Mariah is gonna cause Mina to lose, but again, it all kind of hinges back on what happens during the 0 hour with Mariah's match. I still think Toni's going to win because I don't think Mina's going to stick around, because I think she's going to go back to Japan. So it would be good for, your champion to stay here. But I don't know. I think it could be interesting. And if Ethan's right and Mariah wins, then it gets more interesting once we get towards, All Out.
Please, Mariah, I need a point. Let win, please. So I'll take this one next. So Mina Shirakawa, she is 1/3 of the Irish Stardom title champions. That's like their trios titles. And then the history with Mariah and Mina. So Mariah, when she went to Stardom, got put in Mina's group called Club Venus, and together they held the Goddess of Stardom top. That's their version of tag titles.
Okay.
So that's why they're like sister, best friends, lovers. I don't know.
It's wrestling. Could be anything.
all the above.
Right.
And then Mariah, obviously being a Toni Storm fangirl.
Yeah.
But it's why. So when they first posted the like Tony Khan did, sorry. If people get to know that reference, they'll know. And then Mariah's like, "Can you put me on both sides of the graphic?" So TK's like, "Done, bet." Next I know, boop, she's on both sides. And then during the trios match, so she comes in with Toni Storm. Then she goes in the back and does the Club Venus dance. And by Excalibur Taz was fucking funny on that, because they're like, "We should do that." And Taz like, "No." And Excalibur's like, "Okay, I'll just tell people we did." But I like Misha Shirakawa, but I don't see her win the 8-0 women's title. I think Tony keeps it. I need Mariah May to actually win it from Tony at Wembley at All In.
That's the only thing that makes sense, is to have Mariah May take it off Tony. And then I need, for the love of God,
Jamie
I need
Hayter.
to see Tony Storm go spiral, just going out of control for everything, for the betrayal, for like, I just need to see like a warped version of Tony Storm after this. And if they do it correctly, it could be one of the greatest things that AEW has done with their women's division.
Cinema.
I mean, she's already made enough movies, so it would just be another blockbuster for Tony Storm.
Timeless.
Yes.
I always think of that old SNL bit with John Lovitz. Was it the one where he would he'd like fall down and he's like, acting?
Yeah.
I was like, where's he going with this? I do remember that one, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know where he was going with that either. I was like, what the fuck, Sam?
It was definitely, I don't know if it was late 80s, early 90s, but I remember, I vividly remember that sketch from SNL from back in the day. So, yeah. So, I mean, free space on the bingo board, boys. You know, Tony's walking away. Even if it's not Mariah, she's losing this belt at All In.
Yes.
Hands down.
100%.
See,
I don't. We've talked about it. I mean, there's not much more we can say here.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. Up next, we have a trios match of the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Jeff Cobb. I don't know if this was announced yet. Technically,
not officially. Yeah.
not officially, guys. So, I don't know if this is Rampage or Collision. Taking on Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata. Now, before we start, I did say something, and I have to look at this card, and I'm going to say this right now. This is my pre-show match.
I agree.
This one is not mine.
Holy shit. Oh crap! I forgot to get. Hold on. Okay, you two talk. I'll get the records. You guys start talking.
So I'm gonna kick this off, and I'm gonna say this. I have a feeling this might be controversial.
Aren't you always
Learning
controversial?
Tree is gonna win this one.
Really? Okay.
Now I say this because I'm thinking, have we ever seen Samoa Joe and Chris Jericho one-on-one yet?
No. Might maybe in WWE for a quick.
No,
Yeah.
because by the time Samoa made his way to the main roster, Jericho was way gone.
Yep. Jericho was already in AEW by then.
So I think because it would be nice, Joe wins, and maybe we get Jericho. just being-
Correction, they did on April 17th, 2017 on a Raw.
Really?
Yep, and Samoa Joe whipped his ass.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Oh, that must have been Samoa Joe's first run when he was brought in as like Triple H's heavy or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thanks, cage match.
Yeah.
But I think, okay. I know Joe was out for a while shortly after his debut. And as much as we can still go with Chris Jericho is going to, he could lose and be like, hey, you did a great job. I did it, and be annoying about it. I think it would be even better if Samoa Joe lost and then Chris Jericho was like, kind of like Kurt Angle was back in the early 2000s, late 90s. If you just, put a little more effort and you become one of my brand, Joe's gonna wreck him. Joe's gonna tear him apart like a dog in a chew toy. So I'm gonna say that because I know what I want. And in the words of Batista, give me what I want.
What a great callback. Damn it, Sam. That's such a compelling argument.
While you think about this, Scott, Ethan, do you have the stats?
Yes, I do. Okay, so Chris Jericho is 1-1. Big Bill's debuting, so 0-0. Jeff Cobb is 0-2.
Wow.
And Shibata is 0-1. Who else is on? Oh, Hook is debuting, and Swojo's also debuting. So I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna say fuck it and say the badass killers of Shibata, Hook, and Joe.
I like everything Sam said, and it makes perfect sense. But I just don't see Joe, Hook, and Shibata losing this. They've just come out so strong, like just destroying the varsity athletes or whatever the hell they're called, and just everything they've been doing with Jericho. I don't think Jericho needs the win here. I feel like Cobb will take the pin, and then Jericho can just go ape shit on him afterwards because he got sucked into the Jericho vortex, but it wasn't Jericho that brought him in. Like it should have been Keith, but Brian Keith's hurt, so they'll come up with some bullshit to make it sound good. But I gotta agree with Ethan here. I gotta pick Joe, Hook, and Shibata.
All right.
Wait, one sec. So since Jeff Cobb's a TV champion, and Scott said if he gets pinned, I'm gonna say Joe. I want to see some meaty man slapping meat.
Oh God, Joe and Cobb would be nuts.
Sam, we got throws in the universe, brother. Joe for G1 next year. Say it with me. Come on, guys. I need us in the universe.
I'd be, especially if it's like a retirement tour for Joe. Shit, that'd be insane. What a way for him to go through the G1.
Oh, but also it's funny. So last night on Dynamite, Wednesday on Dynamite, again Scott's bar. So Jericho had a video. They're like, "Oh, our new partner is Minoru Suzuki." Obviously, they teamed at the past Forbidden Doors, and Suzuki's like, "I'm fucking team with you," and he's like, "I want your FTW title," and he's like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, Jericho." I'm like, "Please, Suzuki, Murder Grandpa coming,
Murder Grandpa's coming back. Let's go."
And he's like, "I want your FTW," and then Taz like, "Please." But it's funny because like they were so when Shibata and Hook and them came out and Shibata had his phone, Joe's like puts a microphone to him and Shibata's like, "Oh brother, this sucks," and then he starts beating the people up with his phone.
I love everything they're doing with Shibata and the fucking Google Translate. It's the funniest shit.
I like your necklace to Renee. Renee's like, "Thank you." I'm like,
I know.
dude, no, don't piss Moxie off. But and then because like after they did that whole segment, Excalibur's like, "Oh, it's still a trios match," but yet Suzuki was on the screen saying he wants a title match. So I don't know, but we'll just say it's if it changes, we'll update on social media. Yep. But yeah, I want to see Cobb. Since Scott said that when Jeff got pinned, I'm like, "Ooh, him and Joe, sign me up." Beef.
All right. So going right from that, we now have MJF taking on, and Ethan's going to kill me on this one. Is it I can't even pronounce it.
Hechicero.
Okay.
From CMML. And he's been on AEW before, but that guy can go.
Yeah.
He had a banger with Zack Sabre Jr. last week. I'm like, ooh, hello.
So what's the what do we get stats on that one for?
Both guys are debuting, so 0-0.
MJF has not wrestled.
Oh wait, I fucked up. Sorry, 1-0. He beat Tanahashi last year.
I was gonna say, I was pretty sure that MJF has been on. Okay,
right. Sorry, he beat Tanahashi. I actually, he opened. That's why the main show. So
the pillar of AEW. I'm gonna say pillar because it's just like synonymous at this point. The pillar of AEW. I was like, there's no way he has not wrestled. I'm actually shocked he's only been at one prior to this. But
yeah, but it's MJF though. He's like, I don't want to wrestle New Japan guys.
I mean, that's true. That the first year they did that was his whole gimmick, is that he didn't want to wrestle somebody from New Japan. I do remember that. That is true. As much as I like Hechicero and he's done some good shit, MJF's not losing. Plain and simple. There's no way in hell.
This is his first match back, right?
Second. He took on Roosh, I think, a week
ago. Yes, last week.
Which was a fucking banger in its own right. And I love that AEW did a commercial free. I'm so happy they did that.
Because Roosh, same thing as the Lucha Brothers, he can't be on that show because of...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they did commercial free. Because if they were, because honestly, I like Hechicero, but I kind of thought this was a little disappointing in a way. I mean, plus it's MJF, it's its home state. I almost said country, but you know what I mean.
Right. Well, Long Island is its own country, so.
I can't really forgot. Anyway, I was like, oh, they'll probably do a fuck finish, like brawl to the back. Like, all right, we're gonna have a rematch for Mid-Nor. We'll have like a Falls County or New York street fight, ECW Tony Khan favorite rules match kind of thing, right? But I think they'll have a good match. Like, it could be an underrated banger, but I'm gonna go with Scott. I think this is probably one we're all gonna agree on. To be honest with you, I'm gonna go with MJF. And Edge starts with Cage of Agony now, kind of.
Yeah,
that is a real trio's name, by the way. Anybody who does not know that, that's a real fucking thing.
Yeah, no, there's no. He's back, and he feels bigger than he was when he left. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way.
No, you're 100% correct. Like right now, he is tapped into 2002 Triple H.
Yes,
and he's no offense to anyone else on the roster, but when you're talking about star power, he is like the biggest. All right, we could talk about Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay might tie him, but that's a different conversation for another day. But MJF's walking away with a W.
Okay, I think that was another, like Scott said. I think that was a free point, like with the women's title match. I think this is another free point. I mean, it'd be kind of cool for Hechicero to like beat him, but oh my god, he beat MJF in his home, because wrestling home state or town, you're losing, pal. No, but MJF needs his way more, honestly. I like Hechicero. Like I said, if you ever watched the Zack Sabre Jr. match at Stephen Mal, that was a banger. Dave Meltzer even gave it 5 stars. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr., when does he ever have shitty matches? Let's just be honest here.
Well, yeah, we're going right into that. Let's talk about that. Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Orange Cassidy.
So Zack Sabre Jr. is 0-2 because he lost to Claudio at the first one, and then he was ironically with Orange Cassidy in that international title match last year with Shibata and Garcia. And Orange is 1-1.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. breaks that losing streak.
Damn.
I love me some Orange Cassidy, but I just need Zack Sabre Jr. to get a win here. I feel like he's due here. Obviously, I know the stuff he does over in Japan, I get it. But let him get a W here. And I feel like Trent Beretta is going to have his nose in this at some point, because
I didn't think of that.
He's just going to come after Orange, because that's the blood feud right now between Orange and Trent. So Zack Sabre Jr. is getting the win here.
And who's Orange like teamed with right now?
Nobody.
On Collision, he's with Tomohiro Ishii, because their face out against TMDK on Collision. Yay.
So, who did he come out? So I know I'm getting ahead of myself, or at least not really a spoiler, but like who? Roddy was out, or am I mixed up matches now?
So Roddy. Okay, so I'm gonna try to describe, because they did not need 10 fucking people out there. So during the match, it was Undisputed King and Gabe Kidd in the crowd. They're teaming up at Rampage, Strong and Gabe Kidd are, I guess, the infantry. Then after the match, they all go out checking on O'Reilly. By the way, Zack Sabre Jr. called O'Reilly Scott Banger.
That's why I'm getting confused, because O'Reilly was there, and O'Reilly was teaming with Mark Briscoe. And
oh my god, Mark Briscoe with his promos back.
Yeah.
It's so funny though.
No, it was the three of them.
You asshole, get out of my shot.
That's why I was getting confused, because there's like 10 people. Okay.
And then Shane Hayes, Robbie Eagles. I felt so bad for those guys, because they got no pop when they came out. I was like, oh, it's Shane Hayes and Robbie Eagles, my boys. And then Ishii's like, I'm coming. All right, I'm coming out. I'm ready to fight. And then Gabe Kidd's on the apron. He's talking shit. And Ishii's like, you want to go, fucker? I'm like, sign me the fuck up with those two.
Right.
Well, Kidd's a strong openweight champion because he beat Eddie Kingston at the last American New Japan show. By the way, go check out Rising Sun. Cheap plug. And unfortunately, that's where Kingston got hurt, because I don't know if you've seen the video, Scott. So Gabe Kidd, it was a no rope last day match, so blood sport. Okay. And they're doing stuff, so they put a table like on the railing and the ring apron. So Gabe suplexed him, and when Kingston came down, his ankle is like his leg hit the guardrail, and then because we didn't know if he like was, but turns out we thought it was just a broken leg, but obviously people know now it's more.
Yeah.
But I was like I get it, like you're trying to press faith, but that spot wasn't necessary. But that's in the past, that's whatever. But yeah, basically it was a big, humongous sausage fest with 10 guys. I'm like, there's no way you need 10 people. But I'm actually gonna go with Scott with Zack Sabre Jr. He actually kind of needs more. I think Trent does get involved somehow with distraction or like referees. Oh look, a butterfly.
Yep.
By the way, Sam, we were talking about Suji. If Suji somehow does not win, Zack Sabre Jr. needs to win G1.
Yep.
Spoiler.
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to figure this out, and this is why we had all these people and who could be involved in helping Zach win. Not that Zach needs help winning. Zach is just a monster on his own. But it's hard to argue that. I see Zach getting the W here. Orange seems to be in this weird...
He's in a flux right now.
He's in a flux. I think a L here will further his story with, I don't know, character development or what comes next for the C-Man. Freshly squeezed.
I like the fact that they keep flip-flopping between Jane and his original theme. It's like I feel like not really an evil Orange Cassidy is coming, but like a more like gritty Orange Cassidy is coming. And I think
slower than before.
No, like he might like morph out of this. Like he might not really abandon his sloth style, but I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have like a loser leaves AEW match at some point between him and Beretta. And I feel like this is just the next layer of getting to that point.
Or parking lot, bro.
Well, I mean, because he ended, Chuck E. T's career. I mean, that might be the same thing. That's a good point too. But yeah, I feel like the only logical reason for Orange Cassidy not to get the win, because seeing this as a one-on-one, it's going to be a great match, but there's going to be a storyline element to this somewhere. And I feel like Trent's just going to find a way to get involved yet again, and it's going to cost Orange yet again. And then I just feel like I would love to see Orange just go absolutely ape shit on Trent Beretta at some point. And I feel like this might be the final nail in the coffin. Who knows?
All right. No, that's good. Yeah, I think an L would help develop whatever is going to happen for Cassidy next. So, yeah. So the next match, and this is one where I don't think in the time we've had Forbidden Door, there's been an opportunity for the IWGP title to actually change hands at this show. Jon Moxley taking on Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
So Moxley is 1 apiece, like Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Naito is 1-0 because he debuted at last year's Forbidden Door. I'll take this one first. Naito needs to get the belt back so they can have a world champion in G1 because it's been 10 years since they haven't had a world champion in G1. So, stat.
Interesting.
So I'm going with Naito. He doesn't really need it, but it's time for Moxley to lose it.
I was leading Naito as well, and I need Moxley to take a break. The man needs to recover. He is literally held together by that goddamn tape and probably some duct tape underneath it, because Jesus Christ. I know he goes in there. I thank God he doesn't automatically start bleeding the moment he goes through the ropes anymore.
Well,
but
I guess I'm
not immediately. Maybe about 2 minutes into the match, but but I digress. It would be nice to see an actual title like that change hands. I think it would be pretty cool. I feel like this might be like a dark horse match. Like this could be an Ethan pick towards. You never know. But I think Naito will take the title back.
So you were talking about blood, very quick. Sorry, Sam. So last weekend they did Bloodsport Bushu in Japan at Rugen.
I did see some highlights from that. Yeah.
Him and Barnett, that was a really fun match. And your boy Timothy Thatcher had a bang with Minoru Suzuki. Speaking of Suzuki, so and Moxie Blood let it on that.
Yeah, I saw him like talking like after the match, and I was just like, bro, go get patched up. You don't need to talk right now. I'm like, that man sounded as bad as Biden did during the debate. So, but That's as far as the U.S. politics I'm going to talk about, but I digress. It was rough. He didn't need to talk at all.
Well, it's funny because so remember when Burnett had that banger with Claudio on
Yes.
like a 7 out of 10. Speaking of 7 out of 10s on pre-shows, so they did a spot where Burnett did the swing on Moxley, like because Claudio did to him, and then that's how he got busted open. Burnett's like, "You're going to the post."
Jesus Christ.
So
Barnett I wish he got it more of a run in AEW.
I don't mind that.
I wish he would have. I mean, I know he's older than dirt at this point, but still. I feel like that would have been cool to have him have maybe a mid-title run, something, because from everything I've seen about him, he could destroy people. It's what aggravates me the most about somebody like Lance Archer. Like, that man should be ripping people's heads off on a weekly basis and winning all the titles. But yet he's stuck with the righteous and just not doing shit. And it's like,
And
it makes me sad.
And I personally have always thought that they had potential too.
I agree.
I don't know what the hell they're doing with them.
It's just
Ring of Honor.
it's the lack of booking power. It's the lack of
Archer, you need to go back to
good
Japan.
writing. Or either that too. Like, if they maybe all three of them should just go to Japan and just terrorize people over there for a while.
Or hear me out. Dream booking. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I want this to happen. So I'm going to put this into existence. What if, I don't know, it's a certain Davey Boy Smith Jr. who's not really doing too much. What if we brought the Killer Elite Squad?
Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Involve them to be like, hey, the Elite are a problem. Bring KES.
It's in their name. Killer Elite.
Now,
I mean, that's true. It makes sense.
You lead to however you're going to dismantle the Elite in the long run, or just have a long feud. I don't know.
Not the Frank Kazarian bullshit. The Elite Hunter. We need Killer Elite Squad. They kill the Elite. Thank you, Sam, for bringing that up. I'm so happy he brought that up with a tear in my eye.
So, I got something. I was just looking at this, Ethan. When is G1 again?
July 20th it starts.
When's it end?
Fuck. Sometime in August.
I think I saw August 18th. All right.
Yeah, 18th, 19th. It's the middle of August, around there.
So I really think Naito will win this.
Okay, so we're all in agreement again.
No, we're not.
Ooh.
Moxley's walking away. Sam, why would Moxley want to walk away? I'll tell you why. 2 months' time. And yeah, I like your G1 stat. It's a good stat. But like, maybe New Japan wants to feel the waters over in England. Maybe we need to have an IWGP title match over in Wembley Stadium. Maybe we need Naito and Moxley one-on-one in the biggest arena that's not in Pyongyang, North Korea.
Love the cheap shot there.
I think, because I was thinking about, and again, I think Naito takes it regardless, not mad. You know, I don't know why they put it on Moxley. I don't know if it was just to kind of be like, hey, this is for you, keep coming back and forth. I don't know what the goal was there. Maybe he's transitional. But it's going to go back to Japan. Moxley can't hop back and forth all the time. I almost feel like there's an opportunity here, as long as Moxley's champion, it would give Moxley a reason to have a one-on-one match with somebody, but also put the IWGP title in England for a high-profile match, to then have a title switch there.
Sam's playing the long game. Okay.
Look, you and I experienced the longest of long games back in April, and it was worth it. And you know what? We just need a little bit of time. Not everything's going to be long.
Right.
But I think AEW needs to put a little extra longevity on some of this stuff. And I think that one where you'd be like, oh, nobody's taking the title off of Mox. And then somehow, rather than going, hey, we're going to have qualifying matches like for the next like half a week before the pay-per-view, if you could do it right, correctly, you might be able to like weasel it in where somebody from New Japan is in a tournament and can win, goes after Moxley, wins the title, brings it back to the homeland.
Right. So, again, for the newbie here, when it comes to New Japan, the winner of G1 gets a title shot.
At Wrestle Kingdom, yeah,
at the Tokyo Dome.
Wrestle
Yeah.
Kingdom. Okay.
in January.
Okay. So you're waiting like 6 months. Okay. Okay.
So think about it. Like you're looking at, it says August 18th is when G1 ends. This pay-per-view, I think, is August 23rd, August 25th.
Yeah, it's right.
25th.
Yeah, it's right at the end of the month. Yeah, so it's
So you're
literally a
planting
week
the
later.
seats.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, yeah, it would be kind of cool. It's like, oh yeah, Moxie might main event. And maybe he does. And I mean, that's a whole different thing that I would just not on my bingo card. But you know, somebody like Naito, somebody who can kind of be like, hey, you're the guy who's going to do the job in January. So I don't know. My thoughts. But it makes it interesting because we can't all be winners, right, guys? One of us has to win that, and his name
This
is
is like our
Yes,
third or
Bobby.
fourth tiebreaker, by the way. So thank God we got a little bit of leeway.
It's true.
Listen, it gets boring when we all have the same one. It's like
The Clash at the Castle picks, for fuck's sakes, just for one match.
those are the best ones. It's also because we're pretty good and we follow this stuff really well, and we still get bad picks. I think it says something. That's when you know, okay.
I should have been a dick and joined Scott on that one just for extra point.
All right.
Oh well, no, I'm glad that we need some separation, but that's like our third or fourth tiebreaker.
All right.
Which is
So, do we even want to talk about this one? I mean, this one I think is also another free space. There's like a couple of free spaces on this one. Mercedes Moné taking on Stephanie Vakir. Winner takes all AEW TBS title and New Japan Strong Women's title.
I'll go first. So both ladies are debuting, so 0-0. Stephanie Vakir is a badass. She's got the CMLL Women's Tag Team title, the CMLL Women's title, the New Japan Strong Women's title. They're gonna have a banger. Number 4. But like Sam said, this is a free pick. This title, the New Japan Strong Women's title, and Sam, me and you talked about this to death for like fucking a year now. This title is supposed to be made for Mercedes Moné. But as everybody knows, she broke her ankle with another Nightingale. Unfortunately. But it's like she said on Dynamite, it's basically full circle of basically writing. I just lost the quote. Writing the wrong. That's what I was looking for. So easy. Mercedes Moné is winning, but this could be a banger. Another possible Ethan pick. And look, the show even didn't happen yet, and I already got like 3 Ethan picks.
Right? This match is, I agree. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, Mercedes is going to win. But Stephanie looks like a megastar in the making. If you get this woman in front of a lot of eyes, the sky is the limit for this woman. And I fully expect her to put on one hell of a show going against Mercedes. It's going to be a losing effort, but yeah, this could be the beginning of her escalation within any women's division.
She has a match on Collision with Lady Frost.
I like Lady Frost too. She's one of those women that is.
I'm a badass.
She's very constant. Like she always has good matches. So I like the fact that I don't like the fact that they're fodder for these challengers going into like these types of like pay-per-views, but and I hate to use the term as Cody Rhodes said about Shawn Spears, but she's a good hand. It's a good person to have there. They'll have a great match with whoever they're wrestling. But I would like to see someone like Lady Frost get better opportunities going forward.
Oh, agreed.
But for now, she's doing a great job with what she's doing, with the cards that she's dealt.
So I'm going to have a very unpopular opinion here.
Uh-oh.
Do
I
it,
want
Sam.
everyone to hear me out. All right. This is the match I'm looking forward to the least. And it's not because of the reason you think. The reason I'm looking forward to what?
I hope you lose to Kenta now.
Wow. I'm going to explain to you why I'm looking forward to this.
No, I'm just joking. No, go ahead.
It's
I'll wait for the reason.
not because this match isn't going to be a banger. It's going to be incredible. It's because we're not just going to have to hear her theme song once. But I know for a fact we're going to have to hear that damn song twice. And I'm so sick of it. And I usually am pretty good and be like, oh, that's not that great. This CEO theme song is... I give a lot of play for a lot of theme songs, but man, I'm gonna have to hear it twice, and it's gonna kill my mood. And if I was getting plastered during this show, I would sober up. I'd be like, "This is it. I need to seek out God." Like,
what a great drinking game. Every time you hear CEO Mercedes, but I'm saying
You
so raw though.
dead before the match even starts. Like Christ Almighty!
I don't like that. The CEO chant feels so fucking forced.
It's
Like,
horrible.
but it's funny because like so they added that and like look in the first couple rows, nobody's barely saying it at all.
They're over it already, and it's
The first 3 rows are like there's a couple of go like CEO, and there's like I saw like I forget which dive it was on, but like I saw the first 3 rows, there was like, do I have to like
right. It's so unbelievably bad, and I've heard some horrible theme songs over the
Death
years.
Rebel.
Like this is worse than them. It's terrible. Like, and it's an abomination that they have to attach Walter's theme to this to try to give it some validity. And it's terrible.
but it also is the fact that you have to like at the beginning of like the first 10 seconds, you can't even hear the music.
I know.
It's just the CEO chant, and it's
I know.
like
Yeah,
it's not even like
it.
it's not even like a catch. There's nothing about it that like gets you into it. It just sounds like I
Forced.
Anyways, that's my thoughts. You can crucify me for that. That's why I'm looking forward to it the least.
There will be none of that coming from the two of us because I believe we're 100% in agreement with you on that. It's like the moment you said, I have like, you talk about, I'm not going to like this match for a particular reason. In my back of my head, I went, he's going to talk about the theme song, isn't he?
By the way, if anybody asks who Stephanie Fakir is, go fucking research. I'm not telling you who she is. She's a badass. That's all you need to fucking know.
Shit.
Mrs. Shingo Takagi.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know that? They had a date. Her and Shingo Takagi had a date.
Oh, that a day. I thought you meant they were married.
Not yet.
You can't throw out the misses already. I'm like, wait a minute.
Let me have my moments, guy.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Okay. I'll joke aside though, but this is gonna be a banger though. In all seriousness, now we can move on.
All right. So we will move on to the next match. We got the Elite taking on Scissor Ace. What a name. Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
All right. So wait, Han Sam. So Young Bucks are both 1-1. Okada shockingly 0-2. And here's why he's 0-2. So last year, I could have got a fucking point because I thought they were going to go goddamn time limit, and Okada broke his fucking arm. Fuck you.
That was that match.
Yes,
The
banger.
match. Yep.
That was a banger, but boo. Bowens is 0-0. Caster's 1-0 because the last year of the pre-show. And Tanahashi is also 0-2 because he lost to Moxley at the first one, ironically for the world title, and MJF for the other world title. Oh, wait, sorry. Moxley's the interim. Remember that? The good old days, the interim bullshit. And then last year, to MJF for the actual, in the words of Punk, the real AEW world title. I'm going first. The Elite wins. Matt Caster gets pinned.
Yep. The Elite wins. This was my pre-show match.
Boom. Oh, I agree with you in a way.
I'm curious on that thought. I'm curious because for me, like I said, the Elite are fire right now, but I have a feeling it has to do more with, I don't know, is it because they're taking on the Acclaimed?
No, it's just,
Were you like, eh?
I give zero fucks about this match.
That's fair. No, I was just kind of curious.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree. I'm actually agree with this one and also the Learning Tree one for me. Like, don't get they could be good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Tanahashi and Okada, they're two of the great fucking wrestlers. But it's funny. So I thought it was gonna be Billy Gunn. I'm like, that if Billy Gunn was in this match, throw that on the fucking pre-show. I love Okada and Young Bucks, but they need to be on the fucking pre-show.
Yeah.
And then Billy Gunn's like, I know a president, and then they took like 5 seconds for Tanahashi. I'm like, yay, Tanahashi.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mass Cash is fucking cringy. I said it.
I feel like the Acclaimed have had such a fall from grace, and it makes me sad. But I don't think it's because of anything they've done. I think it's just how they've been booked into this, and it's like
They
I don't
won
know.
an eliminator match. That's shocking.
I mean, yeah, that's great, and I'm glad that they did, but it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know who's helping who more here. If the Acclaim's helping the Elite, or if the Elite's helping the Acclaimed here, and like, who makes this match like worth watching? And it's like, that's a terrible position to be in. And it's like, I don't know, it's just, this match does nothing for me at all. And I'm sad to say that, because I like what the Elite are doing. And I loved what the Acclaimed have done for years. But now I feel like they're almost wasted at this point. Like, they had the weird thing where they would keep cutting off Max Caster, and Caster got himself in trouble for some of his raps that he would say. And just, I don't know. It was just, they're just in a weird spot, at least from what from my own opinion. They just feel like, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of in the Orange Cassidy position. They're floundering. They're just kind of like, what are we doing right now? And I mean, I know, like you said, the AEW tag team titles are in the mix now, but for this match, this could be on the pre-show and it'd be fine.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Scissor me, bitch. In the words of Okada.
Right.
Yeah, no, I can see that argument.
It's either this one or the Learn Tree match. That's the two I put on the pre-show, honestly.
The only reason why I put the Learning Tree one on the main card is for Joe and Hook. Like, the
Fair.
stuff that they're doing together, and obviously Shibata's there too. But I mean, like, Hook and Joe, like, I'm so intrigued to see what happens with these two going forward and the eventual breakup. I always look for good, like, throwing together tag teams that are eventually going to implode and they're going to have amazing, like, an actual like program with one another later on. But I don't know. We're talking slim margins here between the two, but for me, it's because of Hook and Joe, which is why I care about that match just a little bit more than I do about this one.
I would like to call the group the Badass Killers.
I think that's a phenomenal name.
Thank you. That's found in Cage of Agony, by the way. Are they drunk when they name that group? I'm not letting that get over.
I mean, it is Brian Cage. He has fallen far from grace from Lucha Underground. There's my Lucha Underground tip.
Yeah, it took you long enough. I took you 1 hour and 7 minutes.
You gotta get it in at one point. So, you know, I picked.
I will say though, it's a better stable name than the System in the core.
But you have to trust the system.
I love your TNA reference, guy. I'm so glad you got back into it. Okay, can we talk about the Battle of the Dragons now?
I don't know if I give my choice here, but I guess I'll hop right in. It's the Elite. Okay, next one.
I figured.
Battle of the Dragons. We got Bryan Danielson taking on Shingo Takagi in a first-round match for the Men's Owen Hart Cup tournament.
Danielson's 1-0. Banger. After banger.
Banger. We're making that a shirt. We need that. We need to start making shirts. That'd be a fun shirt to have.
Well, not the banger one, because Sheamus might come out.
I was going to say, like, Sheamus might actually.
Oh, is that a Sheamus thing? Oh.
He'll bro kick us to death. Yeah.
So Bryan Danielson is 1-0 because he beat Okada last year. Shingo Takagi is undefeated with 2-0.
All right.
I'm going first. Danielson is winning, and he's got a banger of Pac. Because the winner meets Pac in the semifinals on Dynamite this Wednesday coming.
Ooh.
I love what the Jeff Jarrett. So it's funny. So just talk about Beach Break for a second. So they're doing 3 Owen Hart Cup. They're doing Chris and Willow, which we talked about in the pre-show portion. Pac will meet the winner of Danielson and Shingo, and they're doing the last quarterfinal on the men's side with Jarrett in the wild card. Let's be honest, it's Heyman Page probably, or Ricochet. Someone said Ricochet. You know what? Fuck it. How about Dijak?
I mean, he is a free agent as of this recording, which breaks my heart.
Rare Triple H loss. I gotta throw that out there. I have to. That was a rare. What a badass! You gave him shitty gimmick teabag. Why the fuck?
I don't know. Like it legitimately hurt my soul when they called him up to Raw and he did nothing. I'm like, I was talking to our friend Mark, who longtime, fan of the show and friend of the show. And I told him, I said, when he got called up and he did nothing, didn't even show up, and it'd been like 3-4 weeks. I'm like, the writing's on the wall. I hate this, but it's the truth. Lo and behold, Dijak put out a tweet. I believe it was on the 27th. talking about how his last day was the 28th, which is the day of this recording, and that he was once again Donovan Dijak and back in the Indies. And I was just like, it hurt because like 2K24 just completely revamped his entrance.
Yeah.
And it looks more badass, like his entrances in NXT. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're actually putting some work into him. This is going to be good. They're going to keep going with stuff. And then now they just didn't bother re-signing him. And it's like, I know that I will give WWE credit. They're not firing people or releasing them. They're just letting their contracts expire. I like that. It's fine. But it's like, I feel like, and I hate to use what most people do. Oh, he's going to go to AEW. Keith Lee is in AEW. Dijak and Keith Lee need to be in the same company because we want to talk about banger after banger after banger. Those two had matches in NXT that I still dream about because they were that good.
PWG.
Yes, that too. Just, I need to see it happen again. And I feel like AEW has like stashed Keith Lee away and they just haven't used him on television, and it aggravates the absolute shit out of me because that man is phenomenal and he should be on television more often. I'm pretty sure he's not injured, but if he is, okay, I get it. But if you bring somebody like Dijak in and you put him with Keith Lee or even just have matches with Keith Lee, you're going to pull ratings again. You're going to, because those two are undeniable together. They make magic. And
They're
it's
limitless.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't see Dijak.
Sam.
I don't see Dijak being not in a company for very long because he is still very young and he's super talented. I've met him. I've talked to him multiple times at local indie shows before he went to WWE. And I always saw something special in him, and I just never really gave him the chance to do anything until he get back to NXT. When he brought back like the, what the hell was I had it and I just lost it, but like his character development in NXT when he came back as like the
Top Gun.
Yeah, like I was going like the Sin City reference, like with how his entrance depiction of his name is, stuff like that. Like it made more sense. I wish they would have given him a title in NXT. I don't know if maybe that was the writing on the wall that I didn't see. He was Mr. PLE in NXT for the longest time. Whatever matches he were in, it was pretty much either the best or the second best match of the night. And he just had it. He had another one that Sam and I got to watch at Stand and Deliver when it was him and
that was
Briggs.
a match of the night for me.
That was a beautiful match. Holy shit.
Match of the day. Sorry.
Yes, match of the day. That's right. Yeah. But like
match in the morning.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was an early start time. It was like 11:30 or something. Yeah, it was real early. But no, I mean, yeah, I fully see big things for him ahead. And I hope that somebody is able to pick him up and actually do stuff with him. If he wants to go to AEW, great. I think he'd be stellar in Impact or TNA.
Him and Josh Alexander. Yes. Him and Mike Bailey. Him and Mustafa Ali. Sign this man.
Yes.
He tagged TK too. That's why I'm bringing it up, because he tagged TK. And by the way, his interview with Sean Ross Sapp, if you haven't watched or listened to it, recommend.
Fair enough. Good. No, I will. Definitely.
But for the all wild card for the on Hard Cup, I should think it's gonna be him and Paige. Now Dijak would be cool, but it's probably gonna be him and Paige. Let's be honest. By the way, this is both Shingo's and Danielson's first time in the Owen Hart Cup. So, but this is gonna be another banger. But I'm gonna go with Danielson winning.
I will too. I think, yeah, it's just I think Danielson's gonna go all the way to the finals, and if he doesn't win the final match, it'll be some screwy way. And I think
Nigel.
His last match has to be against Nigel. It has to be. Like, it's like, if you don't do it, it's the biggest drop ball in like modern day wrestling, because Nigel does everything in his power to shit on Bryan Danielson at every opportunity he can. And I know Nigel could still go. Just give me one match between the two of them, and it's going to be just It's gonna be insane, and I can't, and I just need it. I need it in my soul. I need it.
So, going off of this, I'm going to agree with you guys. I think, and Ethan, I think you and I had this conversation. Danielson, I think, is winning the cup,
Yes.
especially being his last full time as a wrestler.
Chug, 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 chug.
But yeah, I will agree with you 100% on that. I just, there's something, this, with everything that has gone on, and I don't know if it was because he was in WWE for so long, a company that I would say screwed with him more than AEW has, especially under Vince and, leading up to, the Yes movement, and whether it was storyline or not, whether it was Vince going, I don't like this guy. He's like one of the most professional people in the whole industry. He's incredible. He's never said a bad thing about WWE to going over here. And he's also been like, hey, this is my company now. I got to treat it like this is my home. This is my baby. So I don't see him getting a title run if we're looking at 6 months down the road. He's retiring from full-time in-ring action.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give him something, you got to give him this.
Yeah.
So that is my thoughts. And if I'm not mistaken, hypothetically, when did he say his last match was going to be?
I don't think he's announced an actual last match.
I thought it was the end of the year.
I think he said this was his last full year being a full-time wrestler, not part-time.
Yeah.
Well, I know World's End is in Orlando.
I know where Sam's going.
Yeah, there was no question about that. Listen, there's something about being in the New England area where wrestling is always there.
Yep.
Always there. AEW has come to Tampa once. In the time I've moved down here, it's been 2 years.
And RVD was there.
Boston or Uncasville or Hartford. Too many to count.
Too many lines. Too many lines.
I will be going, and I just bring that up and go, maybe I'll see that in person.
I do like the fact that they're bringing it in Orlando, which is obviously NXT country, and they're just dropping it right in. I love that. Hey, it works.
The AEW Performance Center coming soon, confirm. Jacksonville.
God.
The real Forbidden Door. All right, main event time. Swerve. Oh, I'm going to say main event time. I'm going to assume this is the main event.
They have confirmed this is the main event.
All right.
Good.
Swerve Strickland taking on Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're both 2-0. Ospreay retained his U.S. title last year. Regained the U.S. title for King of last. That was my number one match of the year last year. And 2 years ago, he had a banger of Orange Cassidy. Swerve Strickland, last year. Yeah, it might have been last year. Him and Keith Lee had that banger with Suzuki, Kamaru and Desperado on a fucking pre-show. That's the last time I gave an Ethan pick on a pre-show match. These two know I don't give high rates to pre-show match.
It's true.
Where do we sit? Okay, this is a problem. I love Swerve, and I was so about him becoming champion, and his run has fallen flat really hard. And again, I don't know if it's why. It's like, either they usually begin or they end with a champion, and Swerve is always kind of like somewhere in the middle, almost like he's just on the roster. And I don't know if that's going to lead up to, because there was a little bit of a scuffle or interaction with the Bucks a few months back. I don't know, or a couple months back. So
I know the Bucks have kind of thrown out there that they're going to try to screw him over because he's not going to just be puppet champion for the Elite. The way you said that about Swerve kind of falling flat, it reminds me of Randy Orton. When Randy chases a title, it's his best work.
Mm-hmm.
But when he is champion, I feel like it falls flat because he's not chasing anything anymore. And it's also not we need the quality of his opponent to help pull him up. And I feel like this match should not be happening. I feel like Ospreay should be nowhere near Swerve yet. And the fact that this is a title, it's not a title versus title match. But Will Ospreay just won his title.
Yeah.
Why is he challenging for the next title up? If this is supposed to be their IC title, the man needs to be fighting people in his own lane yet and not fighting Swerve yet. I feel like they should have had a better opponent for Swerve. And I don't mean that in a way that I'm trying to like say that Ospreay is not a quality opponent for Swerve, but I feel like the timing is completely off. They're both faces, for God's sakes. This is like a 2K match that just got thrown together. It
Random.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I get that. And don't get me wrong, if Will Ospreay wasn't really a face and he didn't have the title, this would make a lot more sense. Or if
Correct.
this was them going, hey, this is when we're dropping the belt. Because Will Ospreay, right now, he has a bigger pop than almost anyone else in the company.
Oh, absolutely.
So I get where you're coming from. I don't know if they are doing this particularly because it's Will and it's going to get a big pop or something.
But it's like, also, do you give Will his first loss though? Because why would you take the title off of Swerve? We don't need double champions right now.
Well, if we are in the Vince McMahon era,
But we're not though. That's the thing. We're not though.
We're going to combine the belts. They're going to be the unified AEW World Champion. And then in 3 years' time, we're going to have a new AEW title for Collision. It'll be the AEW title and the AEW World title. And then 3 years down the line, we're going to have a unified title.
They already did that with the real AEW World Championship. And then now he's screwing over Drew McIntyre on the other brand. So, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This match to me is going to be outstanding, but I feel like
Banger.
yes. But I know they've been trying to make this personal, bring up family member names. Yes, I understand you're trying to poke the bear type of thing, but this match doesn't make any logical sense to me yet. If this was a year from now, they were slowly burning this into like existence, I get it. But I feel like this is too soon, and it's from a storyline standpoint, this is typical AEW. They just throw dream matches together and they don't really give a story behind it. That's their biggest flaw right now, is that their storytelling, for the most part, is still shit. And they need to work on that. That's the one gripe I really have also with Forbidden Doors, because there's not really a storyline that kind of brings into any of these matches. They've done a better job this year, I will say, than previous years.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly more apt to really enjoy this show, because I am a stickler for storytelling when it comes to matches. I'm not trying to be anti-AEW. I'm not. I really enjoy their product. But I want a reason why this match makes sense. And to me, it doesn't. It just doesn't. And, but that's just my opinion.
Especially it's a main event.
Yeah.
The one thing, and Ethan watches it more than I do, but all the Japanese promotions, they always do these like one-off cards, like was it All Together where the big three, big four get together? Was that
They did it twice this year.
Okay. So they all get together and they just do a bunch of multi-man matches. And I don't know if there's any backstory to it, and I don't know if they're trying to go for that feel, but it's a little weird when you're trying to like maybe go for that feel, but at the same time, we're going to put a little bit of like some kind of like hack some story together. It's like you're half-assing the storytelling because you want to feel like this, but you want there to be some storytelling. So I don't know if they pretty much go, hey, we're doing this Forbidden Door thing. This is New Japan, CMLL. We're just having these multi-man matches. Cool. And then you have the main you have the titles at the end.
Yeah.
But I think I 100% agree with you on this point, which is why I'm also going to choose Swerve.
I would also say, like, for me, like, this type of stuff is reminiscent of early Saudi shows for WWE.
Yep. No
storyline whatsoever. We're just throwing things together and just kind of going with it. Thank God now the storylines intertwine, and they're all throughout the show, and they follow it back into the States. So it's fluid. It's fluid. It's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this year they've done a lot better of a job of tying in storylines going into Forbidden Door. So bravo to AEW for doing that. Continue doing that. But you still have the glaring hole like this one, like this match. Like it's like, yeah, all right. Ooh, you said his wife and his son's name on television. Oh no. Now it's personal. Okay. But
To make it personal, you need to show up at the house and burn it down.
Our Todd or what's Taryn is
nice
Done.
callback to Randy Orton.
well, I remember people thought this was going to be at Wembley because they thought Ospreay was going to win the Owen Hart Cup. Honestly, I thought so too, but it's not
That
true.
would make sense though, because he went through a tournament to win.
Mhm.
Well, it's funny because like on Dynamite Wednesday, he's like, "Oh, by the way, Garcia, if I win the world title, I'll put both titles on line." And as far as like, you dumbass, why are you making title offers before? It's just like, I like,
It's like holding the title before you're champion.
yeah.
It's an omen.
Well, Scott's like,
Do it.
why? How they gonna do the match? Like, what's the title match? 60 minutes, I think. Oh, they can't go an hour.
Oh, yeah, they could.
They could, yeah.
They could. This could be like a 2 a.m. Eastern, stop time. And my ass would just pass out on the couch waiting for my alarm to go off for Monday morning.
I kind of, in a way, would not be surprised they do like a fuck finish or a double or a time limit draw, which honestly I hope to God no, because it's gonna be 2, 3 a.m. my time. Please,
No, I would say not with 13 matches on this card.
No,
if this was a
no.
Dynamite, I could see it, but nah,
It's
it better
in the
not do
power-
that on a pay-per-view.
And that's another thing people complain about. And by the way, I agree with they don't need 13 goddamn fucking matches.
And I'm fully prepared for 15 at least. I'm fully prepared.
Okay, I'll keep it. But by the way, so people who don't know, anytime to recordings, if they had any extra matches for AEW pre-shows, in the garbage,
In the bin.
unless someone gets injured. But I mean, that's whatever. But that's the only time we'll make an exception. I like both. But I mean, Ospreay's defending the international against Garcia at Beach Break, which by the way, I think Garcia could win the title there. Maybe
That would be cool.
that'd be cool. I'm gonna go with Swerve. I mean, Swerve's just getting going with the title run. I mean, he's out. He had a great match banger with Claudio and Collision. I think it's the first Collision, the one in Jacksonville. I think that was right after he won the title.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go with Swerve because somebody's got to go 2-1 here. Feels like the G1. Like, oh, who's gonna go? But it's gonna be a banger match. After banger.
The thing though, like playing devil's advocate for a moment, I'm not changing my pick. Will wins. Then what? What does Swerve do?
It continues to swerve while he drives.
Well,
Cash in a free match immediately. Or he steals Prince Nana's coffee.
I mean,
that was dumb. Disregard what I just said. That was stupid.
Jesus.
He beat up Prince Nana and steals weed. That's still fucking funny. Come on, that was epic when Heyman Page said that. But like, I think I don't know why they're doing this so fucking early. If honestly, if Ospreay was an international champion, I could have seen Ospreay win the title.
Right.
He has the international. Here's your world international champ. Don't do that, by the way. Please, Phil. If that happens, I'm going to Sam's house.
I'm really surprised that they're.
That was a joke, people. Don't get offended. I'm just joking.
You have me thinking about this now, especially with somebody like Okada, who was the face of the biggest company in Japan forever. And they've put him in a spot where it's like, okay, okay. So black and white here. Will Ospreay has this early AEW feel, like he's on fire, but I do get a concern where he's going to have this title match, he's going to lose, and then he's going to squander down to the lower card. Okada, and I don't care for Okada in multi-man matches, but I'm getting this WWE thing where it's like he's with us right now. You know, you would get somebody moving up, or they'd bring somebody in and they'd, be part of a gimmick, or, bodyguard, or, they come up from NXT and have them work with people for a while on the main roster until, boom, we're going to split. And I'm getting that feeling with Okada. I feel like, not that they're not doing it with Will. I could be absolutely wrong with Will. But I'm surprised they didn't go the route that especially, again, Will Ospreay was a hot commodity.
Here's something that you talking about being with people. Takeshita could cost Ospreay the title, because did he not say he doesn't need Don Callis' family?
Yes. And then Trent was like, I'm gonna go fuck him up, and Don Callis like, nah. But remember, he went to Don Callis went to Roosh after Roosh lost to MJF.
That is
like,
correct too. So it also, well, we won't see Roosh on the pay-per-view for obvious reasons that you stated, but there's an out for Ospreay losing. And if that is the case, then I like that. I think that would make the most sense.
Well, protects Will too, and then Will's like, "Hey, I got fucked over. That asshole over there cost me. I don't know why I'm going over there."
And
you know what I mean.
And to compound that, they could cost him the title to Garcia.
Yay!
Because I feel like Garcia's put in the work. He should be a mid-card champion at this point, and let Will fight, with the rest of the Don Callis family, and then work his way back up to the title, and then have maybe a rematch with Swerve down the road, or whoever's champion at that point should be a heel champion, because I feel like Will winning, being as a face, facing a heel champion would make a lot more sense. So,
it's funny because back to that segment for a second, Kyle Fletcher, because he's Ospreay's best friend, also part of United Empire. When they said that, Fletcher's like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like that whole, because I mean, I don't know what's going on in United Empire anymore, but on the Aussie Open, oi. Because like Fletcher, it's the TV champion, but he had some great matches with Lee Johnson, Mark Briscoe the last couple weeks. Ring of Honor. Side note. But I like how they're kind of telling that story. It's like Fletcher's like, oh fuck, I got my good friend Ospreay. Hello, Peppers. And then then he just went to Don Callis, because technically Ospreay did bring him in as originally it was supposed to be like a one-time thing, and then that guy's like, I like you, you're staying in the group.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this is gonna be good. Be a good show. But Tony Khan, please stop doing 13 matches. Sorry, 13 plus.
Yeah.
I do not want to go to bed at fucking 2 a.m.
Yep. Nope. I feel that. All right. Well, that's been the card. Like we said, guys, if there's any other matches that are not pre-show, which I'm assuming we have our full pre-show card, we will not be adding those points. We'll be adding non-pre-show.
Basically, any matches after recording, it's
yes.
Yeah. Main card or not, they're all out.
So, guys, Forbidden Door, the summer's just coming. Again, after this, Money in the Bank shortly after. Actually, the weekend after that.
The first weekend of NXT is after Money in the Bank. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Heatwave.
Next week, we'll have a show for Heatwave and Money in the Bank.
The double shot.
Right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at media_bedlam and Above the Ring. You can find myself as SOB Official, Scott at Scotty J Stream, and Ethan as Wrestling_fan_9 on all of our platforms. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, tell people why Bedlam Media and Above the Ring, ATR is War, is the podcast of your choosing, and why they should listen to us as well. Thank you so much for listening. As always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.